Morning, welcome to Everyday Garage. We're just quickly looking at a C250 this morning. It looks like it's got a DPF pressure sensor fault, so we're just going to quickly test that. Got a couple of different ways to do it. I'm just going to quickly run through them now. Okay, so we've got a permanent fault code for input for differential pressure sensor, short circuit to ground. There's a short or open circuit. Okay, so let's just have a quick look in live data, see what this one's doing. There we go, differential pressure sensor. Okay. Okay, so reading, let's put that into millibars. Right, we're already reading minus 50 millibar on that sensor. So what I'm going to do, I've already connected to, have a look at this, the vacuum gauge, and I've got my voltmeter stuck in there as well. So seeing 300 millivolts, which is a bit low. You normally see about half a volt normally with the ignition is what you'd expect. So I'm connected in here. I've already checked this for a good 5-volt reference. I know the 5-volt reference and ground are good. So I'm just going to apply a positive pressure to this with my mitty vac and see if that makes any difference to my millibar reading, which it's doing nothing. So that sensor looks dead to me. Also, when I'm doing that, you can double check, make sure it's not a live data issue. It's having very little, if not zero, effect on my voltage reading as well. Okay, so to further check this now, what I'm going to do is, I've got my sensor simulator here, so I'm going to pop this into the circuit. We have a look using this 4mm banana connector. I'll get that stuck straight into my multimeter, and that will immediately, because I've got 0 volts, if we can see that in a sec. Right, because we're showing 0 faults on the simulator, we're now seeing just about 0 faults here. I'm seeing 900 millibar here. This is just showing like an open circuit. So what I'm doing now is start to apply a voltage to this, and hopefully we should see, right, here we go, so that's 0.3 volts. So this is about where we was before I simulated the voltage. Now we're at half a volt. It's bad light there. There, half a volt on the sensor simulator, half a volt on the multimeter. Still showing about minus 10 millibars here. So we go up to 0.6. There we go. Now showing 20 millibars. At 0.6 of a volt. If I keep going up. Okay, we've crashed here, but we don't need to see that anymore. We could see that it was going up 20 millibars when I put a voltage simulation through the sensor. So we know the wiring back to the control unit is good. This is just going to need a DPF pressure sensor, so we'll get one fitted and have a look and see what we've got. Okay, the new DPF pressure sensor has been fitted to the vehicle. I'm just going to go in and read codes. Okay, got a couple of codes there. I think one of those I created by disconnecting it with the ignition on. One was one that we couldn't clear with the old sensor on. So go to clear codes. Hopefully I should be able to get them cleared. Switch off ignition. Okay, switch ignition on. Okay, we'll just double check our codes, make sure our codes are all gone. Okay, great, so we've got no fault codes left now. So the DPF pressure sensor, the new one, seems to have cleared that issue. I'm just going to have a quick look in this in live data. I had a look in special functions for this. There's nothing to zero calibration of the DPF pressure sensor that I could find. So I'm going to have a look in live data and just see how this new sensor is performing. Check diesel particulate, so all the values for that are in there. We'll select all and we'll have a look, see what we've got. Okay, let's get that started up and just see what's going on. Okay, ash content 2 grams, so that's good. Diesel particulate pressure sensor 0.01 bar or 10 millibar. Now these sensors on these Mercedes go up in increments of 10 millibar at a time. So if I bring the revs up, in fact we're going to millibar to demonstrate that. So there you go, so it's 10 millibars at the minute. You won't see 11, 12, 13, 14 in live data. This will just jump when it gets to the right figure to 20 millibar. 20, 30, and so on. I can also see where I've revved that up. My back pressure readings are obviously quite good, so I'm happy with that. Fill level of the particulate filter, 5%. So I don't feel at this moment I've got any work to do there. I think this is just going to be a DPF pressure sensor issue, so all that's left now is to road test it and make sure everything's all good.